I'm Laura and welcome to a full body stretch today. So we're going to work through a stretching of our whole body from head to toe, and as always choose the options that feel good for you and look after your own body. So we're going to start sitting. So we want to find a position where we're sat right upon our two sit bones. And you can choose a position with your legs that's comfortable for your knees and your hips. So it might be cross-legged, maybe feet together, or legs may extend out in front. So wherever that may be, just making sure that you're up on your two sit bones. The spine is elongated, so we're lifting up through the crown of your head and your shoulders are relaxed down. And we're just going to take our moment to find our thoracic breathing. So bring your hands onto your front bottom ribs and slide them out to the sides. Take a deep breath in through the nose and then exhaling out through the mouth. So on your in breath, expanding the ribs side and back. And on your out breath, feeling the narrowing of your rib cage. And then using this breath to find our abdominal muscles. So on your next out breath, naturally feel how the navel draws into the spine, the pelvic floor lifts. And on your in breath, you keep the control of those two muscles drawing in. And each out breath that we do, we feel how those two muscles reconnect. Let's keep going with this breath, but relax our arms to the side. So breathe in, lift the shoulders up, and then exhale, roll them back and down. And again, so inhale, lift. And as you relax the shoulders back and down, feel the crown of your head grow taller. So we're feeling longer through the spine. We're also feeling longer through the neck muscles, more relaxed across the shoulders. And you're just going to do one more. Okay, taking a side bend. So let the fingertips find the sides of the mat. Elongate through the arms. And in your next out breath, let one hand slide longer along the mat. Elongate through one side of your body. And then lift all the way back up on your in breath. On your exhale, we're going to go to the opposite side. So slide the hand away, focus on lengthening through the opposite side of your body. To find a deeper stretch, let the top arm reach up to the ceiling. Feel the hip drop into the floor and then release. So we go up and over. So feeling the pelvis heavy into the floor, feeling how the shoulders stay down away from the ears. And feeling how the space between the back ribs, the side ribs, and the side of the pelvis really opens. Okay, once you've finished here, we're going to change position to an all fours position. So come around so that you've got your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. Find a nice straight spine, so the tailbone and the crown of the head are reaching away from each other. And you're imagining your spine is like a tabletop. Now find a neutral pelvis. So neutral pelvis will involve bringing the two pelvic bones and the pubic bones so that they're level with each other, and the triangle that those three bones create are parallel to the floor. We take our breath here, so inhaling into the back ribs, the side ribs, and exhaling, finding the deep abdominal connection. On your next out breath, feel your pelvis tip backwards, the pubic bone lift to the belly button, and the tailbone curl down. So we're rounding through your lower back only. And then we're going to let the pelvis tip forwards and just find that neutral position again. So we're using our out breath to tip the pelvis backwards, and our in breath to gently bring the pelvis back to neutral. So I'm really trying to keep my upper back, my thoracic spine, the rib cage area, neck and head as still as I possibly can. Really just isolating the movement of my pelvis and my lumbar spine, my lower back. Now if you've got the control of this, we're going to increase this. So we're going to take a cat stretch. So as we tip the pelvis backwards, this time starting to round through the waistline, the back of the rib cage, and then bringing the neck and the head forwards last, keeping the shoulders away from the ears so we feel a stretch in the neck. And then elongating the spine from the tailbone, the lower back, the waist, the rib cage, the neck and the head comes up last. So keep going with this. On your out breath, we round the spine from the pelvis. On your in breath, we lengthen back to our neutral position. So with this action, what we're feeling is a stretch at the back of the body from the tailbone to the crown of the head. Really trying to open up between the vertebrae, feeling how the abdominal muscles and the pelvic floor muscles are really working to round the spine to find that stretch. So we're just going to do one more of these. The more we draw in with the navel, we try and round the back up to the ceiling, the more we get that stretch. And as we come back to neutral, we're going to thread the needle. So we're going to lift one hand up off the mat. This hand is going to thread underneath the opposite arm. Inhale as you reach, maybe soften this elbow, look over your shoulder, and then exhale, reach the elbow up to the ceiling. If you can, extend that arm up to the ceiling. So we inhale as we twist underneath, and then exhale as we open. One more this way. So I'm keeping strong in my underneath arm, my supporting arm, and I'm checking that my shoulders stay down away from my ears. So I'm elongating the neck. Lower this hand, take the weight onto that hand and switch sides. So inhaling as we go under, exhaling as we open. So we can stay with bent elbow or elongate the arm, whatever feels best for your shoulder. I'm a little tighter on this side. So I just go where it feels good for me. I'm making sure that my pelvis stays nice and stable. And this is our last one. And then release that hand all the way down. Take a walk forwards with your hands and then lower yourself down onto your tummy. Arms are going to come to the sides of your mat or the ground into a W shape, so elbows are bent slightly behind the shoulders. Fingers are on the floor, palms are on the floor, and nod your forehead towards the ground. In this position, we want to check our feet are a comfortable distance apart so that we can bring the 3 bones at the front of our pelvis, pubic bone and 2 pelvic bones, onto the floor. I want you to feel that your legs are relaxed. Your heels are facing up to the ceiling, your knees are facing down to the ground. We've got a gentle draw in of the navel to lengthen the lower back, but the glutes are staying relaxed. On your in-breath, we're going to take a lift of our chest into a swan prep. On your out-breath, release the chest back down. So we initiate by thinking of lifting the chest bone up, opening the collarbones, sending the chest bone forward and up, and the head and the neck just follow what the chest and the rest of the spine is doing. So as I'm lifting, I'm inhaling, which is going to facilitate that thoracic extension, which is going to stretch the front of our body. Really open up that thoracic spine, the area of the spine that generally bends forwards when we're sitting, when we're stooping. And I'm checking I'm not sinking into my lower back. So as I lift, my abdominals just lifting up gently to support my lower back, and I'm feeling them elongating through the lower spine. Now if we can, so at the moment we're just lifting to bottom ribs. If we can, we're going to lift a little bit higher. So we're going to gently press down into the arms. The chest continues to go up as the shoulder blades slide down. Now here I'm getting deeper stretch through my abdominal wall, maybe into the front of your hips. And then we're going to roll back down. Again, just taking care with our own bodies. So we're checking that when we're lifting, we're not getting a feeling of pinching into the lower back. That's an indication that your body's telling you this is too much, so maybe stay lower, reduce your range. And we're just going to do one more of these. So feeling how the crown of the head elongates up, the support through the abdominal muscles, that drops through the shoulders, and then release down. We're going to take a side lying position once you come all the way down. So take a moment to roll onto your side. Take your underneath hand on your head. Now we're going to mirror that with our top hand. So interlace both hands behind your head. Let the elbows come in narrow and really take your weight of your head in your bottom arm. Both knees are bent and you want to have your feet in line with your pelvis underneath the rib cage and your head stacked on top of your rib cage. So we're in a nice straight line from here. Now I'm keeping my side ribs into the mat, my side of my pelvis, but I'm thinking of lifting my waist up off the mat. This is going to engage my side abdominals to keep both sides of my waist equal. Okay, we're going to twist the spine. So we're going to lift the top elbow up to the ceiling. Let your eye gaze follow. The elbow opens out to the side. Trying your best to keep the knees heavy onto the ground. Open the chest and release all the way back. So I'm moving from my rotation, from my waist, from my thoracic spine. Now I'm a little tight in my obliques, so I'm really getting a good old stretch down the side of my body. So you're just going to go to the range where you find a mild stretch. Okay, increasing this by releasing the top arm, reaching the arm forwards to rotate the top shoulder forwards so the chest faces towards the ground. And then we open the arm up to the ceiling and take the arm back. As far as you can. I've got the wall there, so you just go as far as you can. Maybe it's further than me. So we just do 2 more of these. Let the head follow the arm. Let the head stay heavy into the underneath arm. Try and keep the pelvis and the legs as still as possible. So this next one is our last one. And as we come back down, we're going to take hold of your top foot. So grab hold of the foot, the ankle area. If you can't quite grab the foot, you can grab your trousers or your pants. So we're going to check that the pelvic bones are stacked. You've still got your waist gap and the knee is underneath your hips. So heel is towards the glute muscle, towards your sit bone. And I'm going to take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, feel that you're pressing back into your hand. You're sending your pelvis forwards to engage the hamstrings, the glutes, your hip extensors, and the thigh bone is drawing back. This way we're going to get a stretch at the front of your thigh, your hip on this side. So keep breathing, inhale, exhale, press back. Now at the same time as pressing my hips forwards, I'm thinking of pubic bone to belly button, and that's going to make sure that my back doesn't arch. My lower back staying long and feeling that I'm reaching my tailbone down to the bottom of the mat. And last one. Press the underneath leg down to support you and then release. And we're going to do that on the other side. So if you just switch around, again lining up feet, hips, all the way up to our head, a nice straight line. Interlace the hands behind the head, find your waist gap. Take a breath in, lift the elbow, turn the chest, and then exhale, rotate. Inhale to lift, and exhale, release down. So keeping that feeling of width across your chest and your upper back. So feel that when you open, your elbows reach away from each other. You're still getting that feeling of shoulder blades gently sliding down the rib cage. Okay, so our neck muscles stay long. Okay, one more here. And if your shoulder allows you to, we're going to go with a long arm. So you can stay here or release the top arm. Slide that hand forwards to turn the chest towards the ground. And then open the arm, turn the chest, turn the head to follow the fingertips. Inhale to lift, exhale to close. Same breath, inhale to open, exhale. And just one more here. So the more I keep my pelvis still, my legs still, the more I get the twist around my waistline. And then release, take hold of the top foot. Let's find that hip stretch. So draw the knee back. Check that your 2 pelvic bones are level. When you're ready, roll the shoulder back and down to get an extra chest stretch at the same time. When you breathe out, press back into the foot. Press the pelvic bone forwards, pubic bone towards the belly button. Use the underneath leg to help you stabilize. So gently press it into the ground. Keep breathing. So in every out breath that you do, you're pressing the leg back a little bit more. You're going to open the front of the thigh and the hip. So we've got to use strength of the opposing muscles to help with that. So the hip extensors, your glutes, and your hamstrings. So last breath here. And then when you're ready, release. We're going to come round so that we're on all fours again. And this time we're going to step to a lunge. So if we step our right foot forwards to begin with, and find the position where your ankle is underneath your knee. And if you can, bring your hands up to your thigh. So 2 pelvic bones are level. And we're getting that feeling of gently dropping the tailbone down, lifting the pubic bone up. And I'm going to send my pelvis forwards instead of sinking down. Okay, this way I'm going to get that an increased stretch at the front of the hip, just like we did on our side. We're going to increase this by reaching the same arm as the back leg, so left arm up to the ceiling, lifting my chest. It's going to stretch all the way from my thigh all the way up to my armpit. We're then going to take this into a sequence. So left hand comes up down on the inside of your front foot. Right arm lifts, so we twist towards the front leg. Look up if you can, or eye gaze down if that doesn't feel comfortable for your neck. Release the right hand down onto the outside of the foot, and then a hamstring stretch. So we sit the hips back only as far as you can until you find a stretch. So it doesn't mean the leg has to be straight. Let's do that again. So we come forwards, right hand to thigh, inhale, left arm lifts. Exhale, lower. Inhale, twist. Exhale, hand lowers. And inhale, reach back. So feel the right hip reach to the wall behind you. And we're going to add on to this, so you can stay with this, so hand to thigh, but this time, instead of lifting one arm, see if you can lift both arms. If you need the balance, take your hand to your thigh. Okay, hand comes down, right arm opens to twist. This time, if you can, tuck your back toes, push the heel away, feel the strength of your back thigh to extend through the knee. Now we're going to keep the back knee lifted if we can. Bring the right hand down. Let's find that hamstring stretch. So we push the hips back, extending the front leg as best you can. I think of dropping the back heel down to get an extra calf stretch. And we're going to do 2 of these in a row now. So we sink the hips forwards into our lunge, sink the hips back into your hamstring stretch. And again, you can do it with your back knee down, same as we did previously. So as we come back into our lunge this time, lower your back knee if it's lifted, and take one last stretch, lifting chest up to the ceiling. Bring your hands down on the inside of your front foot, and then heel toe your front foot around and back to bring the other foot forwards. So we've got left foot forward, same setup, ankle underneath the knee, pelvis level, left hand to thigh. Right arm goes up, and thinking of pubic bone to belly button, and really trying to think of my right hip bone, or pelvic bone, sorry, going forwards. And then we take the twist, so right hand comes down, left arm reaches up, we turn towards the left leg, eye gaze wherever it feels comfortable for your neck. Left hand comes down on the outside of your front foot. Sit the hips back to your hamstring stretch. Now here on your hamstring stretch, just pause a moment. Can you lift your chest? Even if your hands need to be a little bit further back, maybe you need to have the knee a bit further, a bit more bend. So can you straighten your spine? Let's go again. So we come forwards, bend the knee, left hand to thigh, right arm up, breathe in. Exhale, lower hand. Inhale, twist. Exhale, left hand down. And inhale, reach back. Draw the left hip to the wall behind you. We go again, so hips forwards. This time both arms lift if you can, relax the shoulders down. Keep the back of the neck long, so keeping the chin slightly towards the chest. Hands down, and then we twist. So left arm goes up. If you can, tuck your back toes and lift the back knee. Send the heel to the wall behind you. That helps to extend through the knee more and engage the quad to help do that. Hand comes down, back knee can lower, hamstring stretch. So we send the hips back heel goes down, and then 2 more, so 3 in total. Hips go down, chest up, eye gaze forwards, and then reach the hips back. I'm thinking of reaching my chest down towards my foot. So laying the front of my body along the front of my leg. And last time, push back. And then as we come to lunge, lower the knee. Let's take that last stretch. So reaching up to the ceiling. And then lower back down. Hands on the inside, heel toe that foot wide, and then come to sitting. So we're going to take one leg forwards, one leg back. So if you're mirroring me, right leg forwards, left leg behind. Now if this is not comfortable for your knees, take a different position for your legs, it's absolutely fine. So I want you to take your arms up for me, relax your shoulders down, and I want you to work on keeping a straight spine. So I'm actually going to turn so you can see my side profile here. So we're going to hinge forwards from the hips. I'm working on keeping a straight back. When I feel my spine start to round forwards, that's my end range. And I'm going to bring my hands to the floor. Okay, so a straight spine is going to help us target through the hips here. I want you to feel your two sit bones draw back towards the floor, using your hands to push into the floor to help you do that. Now in opposition, so your hips are going back, your chest goes forwards. Now breathe in, exhale, maybe you can go a little bit further. Inhale, exhale, maybe a little bit further. Now just walk your hands a little bit wider. And what we're going to do is sway side to side. So you're going to take your chest towards your front knee, towards your right knee, and then towards your back knee. And again, front knee and back knee. Now when you come back to centre, narrow your hands again, but to come up, you're going to think of tipping your pelvis backwards. Roll all the way up through your spine. And then simply change legs. So now you know what it looks like. I'm going to stay facing you. So other leg forwards, opposite leg back. Inhale to lift the arms up, keeping that straight back. So you're lifting out of your lower back, hips and legs feel heavy into the floor, and then exhale, tip forwards. So when you feel that you're in that position where you can't go any further, bring your hands down, lift the chest, work on your breath. And then if you can go further, just let your body go where it wants to go. Okay, keeping a straight spine. So remember, straight spine is the most important thing here, so that we're targeting the hips. And then when you're ready, take your hands wider. So shifting towards the front knee, small rotation, and towards the back knee. So you should be feeling some sort of stretch around your hips, maybe your lower back as well when we've got this rotation. Everything's attached, so every stretch that we feel is good. And as you come back to centre, narrow your hands, tip your pelvis backwards, so ground through your sit bones and your tailbone, let your head come forwards, and then lift all the way up. Take a position of your legs that feels comfortable for you guys, and then just finish by taking a deep breath in and a deep breath out. One more time, breathing in and breathing out. And thank you very much for joining me today. So I hope you enjoyed the class. If you can, please subscribe below and press the bell icon so that you get notifications for future classes. Thanks again. Bye.